Welcome to Old Guy Tech,
the OGT.TV recording studio.
Technology for the rest of us.
Hi, I'm Rob Charney with Old Guy Tech TV, and we're here today with Mary Lou Peet to talk about her business. And she's got some interesting caregiver ideas that are going to work for all of us as we age. And I want to thank Mary Lou very much for coming. Once again, thank you very much, Mary Lou, for coming and joining us here.
Thank you, Rob.
Why don't we just jump into this right away and talk a little bit about your company and what it is that you're doing.
Well, I have comprehensive in-home care. I'm in my second year of business. And what I do is bring caregivers into seniors' homes to allow them to remain independent longer in their homes. We do everything from meal preparation, medication reminders, transportation, we can do errands. Pretty much we can do anything that the family member can do to allow people to be more cared for in their own home.
So that would help me be independent as I get older, but I can't do certain things. So this is designed to help me stay in my home and do those things that I could just need a little bit of help with.
That's correct. And very often the people that we assist are not just the senior, but the family member who's caring for the senior.
Ah, yes. I never thought about that. That's very important.
I feel that we assist not only, the senior, but the whole family. I had taken care of my aunt for the last 10 years of her life, which is how I got engaged in this business. And I was very busy at that time with the business that my husband and I owned, the Goldsmith Gallery.
Right.
And it was a jewelry store that was doing very good, consumed a lot of my my time, and caring for my aunt was difficult because I was her one and only family member that she could rely on. And as the years went on, her dependency grew. And I understand how hard it is on the family members to meet all of their responsibilities at home and through their careers, and also keep their family member protected.
Yes.
So I had told my husband that if we ever did not have the store, that I wanted to do something to protect seniors, something to help seniors in their lives be safer.
I think that's wonderful, because I was in a similar situation. Actually, I have one going on kind of now, where I took care of an uncle for the last 10 years of his life and helped out with that. And now I have a sister, unfortunately, with Alzheimer's, who's in a care facility right now. So I'm very aware of what you're talking about. And so I'm very cognitive of this service. I think this is just great, well needed. So tell me a little bit how you go about it. What do we do? Let's say we want to use your service. How do we go about using your service?
Well, the first thing I would encourage people to do is just pick up the phone and call. And I am very willing to share information, whether it means I'm engaged in their life or not. I'm happy to just be a sounding board for what is going on with the family members. And if it is decided that we would take the next step, I go out and do a no-cost assessment in the home and talk to the senior, see if maybe I can make some suggestions on how the home can be a little safer. I try to get my finger on the pulse of how I can best serve the senior and the family. So,
what would make your service different than some other company that's out there? What's your highlight? What is your specialty that really makes it different?
Having had the store, I had to learn how to hire quality people.
Right.
And that was a very good training ground for this, because I had mentioned I took care of my aunt. I had trouble at that point hiring people to help her when I did not have all of the hours she needed. And what came to light at that point in my life is that there are a lot of people out there who will take advantage of seniors. Well, I have a 7-year background check I do on my people, plus the personal feel of who I think has a good heart to work with the seniors. Personally, I feel that being of service to another human being is food for our souls, and I look for that awareness in my caregivers. I'm very proud of them. I think they're a cut above the average, And my caregivers on a whole are maybe a little more mature than the average caregivers in the industry. But I have found that that is a very good recipe for somebody who can be better company for my seniors, maybe have a little more patience and be a little more clever with those with Alzheimer's and depression and dementia. We have special training for the caregivers in dementia and Alzheimer's.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a big part of why my caregivers are better also, is they have to take 30 tests and pass with 80% or better in order to earn the title of a certified companion aide. And
how's this test? Is this something that you do, or is the state
Yes.
does, or it's your own test?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
It's
Good.
through, I'm a member of the Seniors Choice, which is the largest privately owned group of agencies in the country. And they have given me training. They have this training program set up for the caregivers. And it is not a franchise. This is my own business. We're family run. It's my husband and myself. And
Well, no, that sounds great. So, let me ask you this. So, in my family, let's say I have my mother or my father, and I'm starting to notice that that it takes so much time for the family member to take care of another family member. It's almost not fair to those in the family to have to spend so much time taking care of another family member. You love them to death. They're great. But you have a life to live as well. So how does your business fit in with that model? What is it that you do to help the families and as well as being a caregiver?
Well, you bring up a very good point. And statistics show that 2/3 of the time the family caregiver will pass before the person they're taking care of due to the stress that it creates.
How much? What was the statistic?
2/3 of the time
2/3.
the family caregiver passes, and 1/3 of the time the person that's
Right.
being cared for passes.
Holy
so
cow.
it is a full third of the time,
Yeah.
more frequently, that the family caregiver will pass. Very often family members feel like maybe they're letting their family down by having outside help come in, and it's actually just the opposite. Taking care of yourself in a case like that is taking care of your family member. So it is very important that people understand that they need to rely on others to support them and help them. We can do pretty much anything the family member can do in terms of getting them to the doctor. I know that was very difficult for me when I was caring for my aunt, because I would have to take the whole day off,
Right.
pay somebody to work for me, and I never knew if it was going to be a half an hour in the doctor's office or 4 or 5 hours. And we can do that for families.
Mm-hmm.
Is take the person to the doctor, take notes for the family with permission, of course. And
That's great because, as I mentioned, myself being in that similar position, I know how difficult it is. And it was the same situation I had in my own family, where my wife and my daughter were taking care of my sister, and it spent so much of their time that it was very difficult. But we had a more extreme version of what's going on, because she has to be in a care facility. There's no way she could go to the service like yours. But I'm even looking at myself down the road in the next 20, 30 years. I would like to stay in my home as long as I can. So that's the goal here, is
It
to
is the goal.
keep the person, the family member, whatever, in their home as long as possible.
there you go. That's exactly it.
That's it. So that's it in a nutshell, right? Is that you're going
And
to
to
help?
provide a better quality of life.
Yep.
I've just now started with a client who did not have much conversation when I first came in. We've only been on that job a week, and already his mood is picking up. He's getting people fussing over him and giving him attention, and he's talking more. He has some dementia, but he's completing his sentences a little better.
Uh-huh.
So it's very beneficial in so many ways, just the companionship alone.
Yes. Well, I understand, because so many of the seniors are isolated. They isolate themselves, and they're isolated anyway, because unfortunately I think our society is a little bit, I can't come up with a description, but seniors and elders, when they get to that position, they seem to be shunned a little bit, because people don't know how to deal with them.
Sometimes.
Yeah. So your organization, your company would come in and help with that. One of the basic things that I found that was the most difficult for me was the taking care of, making sure they had a shower, making sure that their hair was washed, making sure that their toenails were clipped, making sure, that type of thing. Again, that's the service that you provide?
Yes, we do personal care as well as whatever is needed around the house. And there's a care plan book that goes into the home, and I have a chart that is a week long that people can mark off if the person had a shower on Tuesday, so somebody who comes in on Thursday can see it's been a few days and maybe it's time to encourage a shower.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yes, we try to look at all avenues of what the needs are and be there to assist in whatever manner is necessary.
Well, that sounds great. That sure is a service that's really needed. So what got you started in this? Now, you said your aunt, taking care of your aunt. You really feel that was the turning point for you, saying, there's a need, and you're trying to fill a niche that maybe hasn't been filled before?
When I was caring for her, it's been a few years now. There weren't as many agencies like mine out there, and I did contact one, and I don't remember the name, but it was a little bit past what she could afford, and I was not really impressed because they talked to her and me, but they talked like she was not in the room, and I thought that was very insensitive. I realized at that point how difficult it is on family members, and I thought, there should be some help for people. And unfortunately, private pay is what I do. I can take long-term care insurance payments, and there are funds available sometimes through the Veterans Administration, but not everybody can afford private pay.
Right.
And that is too bad, because so many people deserve it and should be treated better in life, especially as we age.
So you brought up a point that I hadn't thought about. There is long-term care insurance. Is that right?
Yes.
And there's people that specialize in doing that.
Yes.
And so maybe that's something, as you start getting into your 50s and 60s, you should probably really be looking at.
Well,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, to help, because I don't want to get into specifics of how much you charge, but give me an idea on an average situation what a family would be looking at for your services.
It all depends. I mean, we have an hour-and-a-half service that it's about what it starts at. It can be as much as 15 minutes to just pop in and make sure the person is fine.
Right.
And that is $35 up to an hour-and-a-half. And then there's an hourly rate, which kind of decreases with the number of hours people book.
Right. Okay, well, so you've got a sliding scale as far as of your services that go, and so sounds to me like it's fairly reasonable. And so as the owner, how involved are you with the day-to-day with your clients and your employees?
I am very involved. I'm on that phone every day, touching bases with my caregivers. I usually touch bases with my clients once a month to make sure everything's good. And I try to make it easy for them to give me feedback if something needs to be changed. And sometimes there might not be a perfect union between the caregiver and the client, and I do not get offended by that, and I have other people that I can change out until we get a good fit. Typically, my people have been very happy. My clients have been very happy. And I take it very personally that I treat them as good as I would treat my own family. And that is what I tell people my promise to them is that I will treat their family members as good as I would treat my own.
Well, that's like one of my axioms. Always treat those the same way you wish to be treated.
That's right.
And so that fits right into it. So, again, what's the name of your company?
Comprehensive In-Home Care, and it is a corporation.
Okay, Comprehensive In-Home Care. And why don't you give our audience a little bit of idea how they can get a hold of you, and phone numbers, addresses, that type of thing. Look at the camera a little bit, and maybe you can give an actual. Let's get your message out. Tell people, because I see this as an invaluable service. I'm looking forward to it, growing for you and growing your business and helping, because you're helping society, and I think that's just wonderful.
Well, I feel very blessed to be in this position, to be of service to people and to really improve their lives. I would encourage anyone who just even wants information, please give me a call. My office phone is 530-295-1130. And I'm very happy to just be a source of information. I'm happy to come out also and to do an assessment and give you my 2 cents on what I feel would improve the situation and make life enjoyable. Our business can give you quality time with your family members. I'm happy to help in any way I can, so I do encourage you to call.
What about your website address? What is it?
It's www.comprehensiveinhomecare.com.
Perfect, and we'll have this on the website also so that people can find you real easy.
Very good.
Yeah, that'd be great. So, Mary Lou, I think we covered pretty much everything we wanted to do in our short period of time here. I think, folks, that this is a service that as we all get older, we're all going to need to take advantage of. I know for myself, it's something that I'm going to consider. I'd love to stay in my home longer as I get older, and maybe something you to consider about. I know when you hit your 30s and 40s, you don't really start thinking about this stuff. And you hit your 50s and 60s, it becomes more of an important issue to you. So Mary Lou Peet here has a solution for you. It sounds very affordable and something to look into. Check out her website. We'll have a link on our website to it. And Mary Lou, once again, I want to thank you very much for joining us and getting your message out there. I think it's great, and I really think you're doing a wonderful service, and you're really helping us all out. So this is Rob Charney with Old Guy Tech TV. Hey, we'll see you down the road.